Hello, hello. How is everybody? Can't believe it's Thursday. It actually feels like a nice, beautiful summer day here today. So, we are going to continue tonight with the Be My Valentine stamp set. As you remember, I created a card for Mystery Card Monday, and we did something like this. And then tonight, we're going to do two fun fold cards. This one is just a quick and easy little fun fold. Hey, Do. Hey, Margaret. And then this one, you can see the little bee swings on the inside of this card. And then the back of the card is going to be where you would write your message. But you can see the little bee is flying on the inside of the card. So something, Liara's up, something just a little different, okay? And we're going to start with this one because it's a little easier to put together. And this is the stamp set we're using, Be My Valentine. And this is going to be an online exclusive. It's not available to customers until November 7th. If you wanted to get this before November 7th, there is still time, 5 more days to take advantage of the demonstrator promotion where you can get a starter kit, hey Karen, for $99 and get $168 worth of product, or spend $68 and get $125 worth of product. And you don't have to do what I do. You can actually just take advantage of the demonstrator discount. So keep that in mind. I'm just going to didn't tack my paper down. The host code that's on the screen. If you place an order of $35 or more using that host code, I will send you these make and takes as my thank you for placing an order. All right, let's grab our pieces here. Now we're using colors that are a little different. We're using, let me see. I want to say it's Lemon Lime Twist and Petal Pink. And we're going to start with, and where is my ruler? We're going to start with a card base that is 6 3/8 by 5.5. I just want to make sure I did this right. And I scored it at 2 1/8. Okay, so here is our card base. Hey, Fran. Hey, Kathy. Then we're going to work on this front panel. And I chose the little smiling bees as the designer series paper and a layer of the lemon lime twist. The lemon lime twist is 5 3/8 by 2. And then we have 1 7/8. 1 7/8 by, that's wrong. Let's see, should be 5 1/4. And it is, it's 5 1/4. So let's grab some glue. These little bees are cute. It comes with, and I don't even, oh, here it is. It comes with this cute little punch. The little heart actually also will punch out the bee's wings, and then here is the bee itself, but it also looks um, like a comic strip bubble where you could put your sentiment in the bubble, right? Just something to think about when you're using the punch. So I'm just going to glue these together. If I can get my glue to work. I'm just looking, I don't see another glue. I might have to pull a new one out instead of fussing. Let's just do that. I'll open up that container and use a paintbrush or toothpick and use it. Ah, yes, much better. So is anybody doing anything crafty today? I actually was working on my November craft box. As you can see, my fingers have ink on them tonight, so I'm sorry. But I was working on my craft box for November, and I was using Pretty Peacock. And I seem to have gotten it all over the place. And then I was working on thinking about my card for tomorrow, and that's all ready to go. You're going to love that card. It's another different kind of card fold. You're going to catch up tomorrow. Well, that's a good idea, too. All right, so here is our front flap, okay? Now, before we add this square, oh, very nice, Margaret. That's a good idea. That stamp set was one of my favorites. I have an eBay store where I sell all my retired product, and that one I did not add. I kept that one. All right, so I'm going to start on the inside now. And this one is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And I'm just going to adhere this to the inside of the card. And the reason why I'm jumping to the inside before I finish that flap is I want to be able to put this square in so that front flap hides that square. Okay, so we're just going to adhere this to the inside, and then I'm going to add these honey jars. And this paper is really cute. I'm going to show you if I can find it. Here it is. There's another online exclusive that'll be available called Fluffiest Friends. Check out those chubby little characters. They're so cute. But this honey jar paper would be perfect for this little honey bear. How cute is he? So we are going to take this layer, and it should be 5 1/4 by 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And we're going to adhere this to the inside of the card. All right. So working both the front and the inside at the same time. All right. So now when this folds over, it is fun. It's really cute paper. I'm going to use this paper again for tomorrow's Fun Fold Friday. And I'm using different paper that's in the set, so you'll be able to see some more. All right, so I have the scallop square for the front of the card, and this is the square that measures 3 by 3. And then I have a layer of basic white, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and this is also a layering square. So this is going to go on top of here, and that's the front of our card. Okay, let's move this out of the way a second. And then for the inside, I did the 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 layering square, and then I cut a piece of basic white 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that's going to be the inside of our card. All right, so let's do our layers. I'm actually going to grab a scrap piece of paper and my silicone mat, and we can start stamping. So this is the front. And I'm just looking to see if I grabbed my ink, and I don't think I did. So here it is. Well, looks like there's a piece of, there it is. Here's the bee's body. Let's grab another block here. I have some other stamps. So here are the stripes to our little bee. And then we need the bee's wings. We don't want to forget those wings tonight. Okay, so here's the wings. We need some cute little eyes. And we'll grab these little eyes. Put it on the block. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose all these tiny little pieces. Everything's so little. And then here's the little antlers. Antlers. They're not antlers. What are they called on a bee? Feelers. And then we need our sentiment. And let's see where that is. I have you make my heart buzz. All right, so I think I have everything. Oh, we need the little bee's trail. So that we'll put on a different block. I think I've used every block I have. All right. So for colors, we are using Daffodil Delight and Petal Pink, and of course Memento for the stripes. So we're going to start with our Daffodil Delight, and we are going to ink up. I'm going to do the round part of his body first. Antenna. Okay, that's true. Do the round part of his body first because I find it much easier to line up the black stripes. Okay, and we are just going to stamp this little bee right there, and you can see my stamp is dirty. Can you see that? It picked up the black from my striped one. So I got to remember to clean that off. All right, so now we're going to stamp his body, or the stripes on his body. And I'm going to line it up as best as I can and stamp those stripes. I'm going to keep the Memento out, and I'm going to grab her little face, and we're going to put her little face on. All right. And I'm going to add her antenna. We're going to put it up here. Now, before I go any further, I'm just going to close up this Memento for a minute, and I'm going to grab my black marker, and I'm just going to add some eyelashes. And then I'm going to grab my Petal Pink Stamping Right marker, and I'm going to add 2 little cheeks. Give her a little bit of a personality. For her wings, we're going to grab some Petal Pink. And we are just going to stamp her wings right over top of her. And we're going to leave out our Petal Pink, and we're going to grab the stamp that makes it look like she's flying. I'm just going to add it down by her tail, just like that. Okay. Grabbing our memento again. We're going to grab our sentiment. You make my heart buzz. And I'm going to add it right down here on this layer. And here is the front piece to our card. We'll add our embellishments and our ribbon in a second, but we're going to pull in our center piece, or the piece that's going to be in the center. And I'm going to grab my sweet sorbet. I want to grab, the large heart. And then we need love you. So let's get rid of this sentiment. We'll put this sentiment on. All right, and we'll do the inside of the card now. You're going to notice that in this stamp set, there are 2 sets of leaves and stems, and one turns to the right and one turns to the left. So depending on what side that you want the flower to be, and I'm going to put mine on this side, so I'm going to have it facing the left-hand side. I'm going to grab some, here it is right here, lemon lime twist. And I'm going to ink up my stem and add it to the inside of my card. Let's move these antennae. We're going to grab the cute little flower, and we are going to stamp it with sweet sorbet. I'm just going to pull some of this ink down. This stamp pad is really juicy. What I do with my paper towels, I just want to clean this spoon off. All right, so let's ink up, and we're going to stamp our flower. Okay, let's grab our heart, and I'm going to stamp off the heart because I want to see the sentiment really well. So let's stamp off the heart, still using sweet sorbet. And then we're going to grab some memento and the love you stamp. We're going to stamp the love you right on that heart. All right, let's get rid of these stamp pads. We can get rid of this for now. And we can pull our card back in. All right. So let's set this up. We're going to use seal on this so we do not see the glue after doing all that stamping. We don't want to ruin this layer with glue. So we're going to just layer these together, making sure I get it centered. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Just going to put our layer down and get everything ready. Just like that. All right, so here's our layers. Let's bring in our card base. We want this right here on the front of our card. Okay, so you don't want to add glue. We're going to use glue this time. We want to keep it to the left of this layer. So we're just going to add our glue, making sure that we stay at least halfway. And we're going to lay this down on the front of the card. And I just want to make sure it's on here straight. All right, so there's the front. And I think it's straight. And then we can take our centerpiece, or the piece that's going to be on the inside of our card, and I'm just going to add some glue. And I'm going to lay it up against the piece that we just put on the front of the card, and then lay it down. And I'm using glue because, as you can see, it's a little crooked. So I just want to straighten it out. Make sure when I close the card, we don't see, hey, Marcy, we don't see the inside layer. Yes, I have plastic spoons. I got them at the dollar store. All right, let's just get that in there straight. All right, so let's grab some ribbon. And I'm going to grab some fine sparkle adhesive back gems. So let's just grab my wrong scissors. I want to grab the scissors for my ribbon. And this is the ribbon that comes with petal pink. I'm not sure. Let's see what the name of it is. I don't know if this is the pack here or not. It was the combo pack, the Ribbon Duo combo pack. It comes with this lemon lime twist ribbon and a petal pink ribbon. And we're just going to make a bow. Let's cut our tails. My garbage is way over on the other side of the room. All right. And then we're going to add some of our little embellishments. So I'm going to use these. They look like they're petal pink. I'm going to put a medium and a small. There's a piece of fuzz. And then I'm just going to grab a medium, put it in this bottom corner. Let's grab a glue dot. And we're going to add our ribbon right down here on the corner. And there we go. Cute little card. Hey, Kathy. And although this is a Valentine's Day set, you can actually use it for any occasion. Change up the sentiment, make it a birthday card, right? Very cute. So let's put those aside. Now we're going to work on this one right here. And you're going to hate me, but I'm going to have to do some fussy cutting. I did not cut out the little stems. So we'll just have to gab while I'm cutting, okay? And I do have to put the window in. So here's our card. Our little bee is flying in the background. All right. And again, we're going to use our petal pink and our lemon lime twist. So we're going to start with, let me move this up a little, 11 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 5.5. Let me just see. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed when you use our Stampin' Up! Paper, although it says 8.5 by 11, it is just a hair bigger than 8.5 by 11. So you may notice when you fold and burnish one side will be together and even, but it won't be even on the sides. And it's, thanks, Kathy. And it's because the paper is just a little larger than 8.5 by 11. All right. So what we're going to do is, for the front of this card, I again use the layering squares, and I think I have another one here. Here it is. And you can see my washi tape is still on here, so let's get that off. I use the larger one, and this measures about 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. And then I grab the next one down, which is 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. And using the lemon lime twist, I just put these together and made sure that they're even spaced all the way around, okay, and cut out this frame. I still have the paper on my finger. So I cut out the lemon lime twist frame, and that's for here on the front of the card. Then I kept the smallest frame because we want to, what did I do with that frame? When we add this to the front of the card, we want this to go into the opening so we don't see the card base. Okay. Hey, Mimi Cakes. Yes, I will tomorrow on my blog. All right. So here's our frame. We want to keep this one out. And I am just going, and I'm going to have to get up to go to my, cut and emboss machine. All right, so we're going to layer up the front first. And our first layer is 5 1/4 by 4. And then our next layer is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And we are going to adhere these together. And I'm just going to put one down the middle. All right, so here is the layer. Just like that. Now we can do this one of two ways. We could put this and run it through to cut the window, and then we would have to make sure it lines up perfectly. Or we could cut the window in here and then line it up and put it through to make sure it lines up perfectly. But instead of doing it that way and possibly making a mistake, I am actually going to adhere this to the front of my card. Make sure it's on there straight. And I'm going to take my die, decide where I want it, and then I'm going to run it through the cut and emboss machine. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of washi tape. And I have to be careful because unfortunately this washi tape leaves some color behind. All right, so I'm just going to tape that down because that's about where I want my opening. And we are going to open the card up and run it through. So just give me a second. I probably have to put down, I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper just for an extra wedge to make sure we get this cut all the way through. All right, so I ran it through twice, and you'll notice that it did not cut through completely. Yeah, I like this DSP too. So I am going to, that's why I use the washi tape. I'm going to run it through again, but I'm going to run it through upside down. And we're going to do it one more time. All right, hopefully it's through this time. And you have to just remember, and just make sure it's through. We're going through so many layers, and it's not through completely yet. So I'm going to do it one more time. We're going through how many layers? 3 different layers. So it's going to take just a little bit of work, but it's the best way to make sure that everything lines up completely. I think it worked that time. All right, let's see. There we go. Just have to help it out a little bit. Don't want to. I'm probably going to have to grab my scissors, and I'm going to just help it along a little. And like I said, we could have done this piece by piece, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was lined up completely. Let's take our die off. I don't want to ruin my paper. There we go. I'm just going to use my scissors. I'm going to come up along, because some of it came out, some of it didn't. There we go. Just want to take this die off here. And it cut through 2 of the layers. It just didn't cut through our cardstock, because our cardstock is so heavy. Okay, so here's the centerpiece, and here is now the front of our card. And I'm just going to trim out what I see here. Now we could have, like I said, I could have done it layer by layer. I just like doing it all at once. One more piece right here. All right, so there is the window on the front. Ah, that's so nice. I'm so glad he liked it. I haven't used that stamp set again. I'm going to have to pull it out. All right, so now we're going to grab that frame. And I'm just going to add this to the front of the card now, just so I don't misplace it. Because you know what happens with everything that gets on this desk. It seems to disappear. So I'm going to line it up around the opening. All right. Make sure it's adhered really well. Let's scoot that over a little bit. We want to make sure it is covering this opening. There we go. Just like that. All right, so now we have the frame of our card. Next, we're going to open it up, And I'm going to use the honeycomb. Here's the bees. The other side is petal pink honeycomb. And this one is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm just going to add some glue. And we're going to adhere this right to the inside of our card. Just like that. All right. Now let me just make sure I have all my little pieces here. Yes, I do. All right. So here's the inside of our card. Next, we need a little tiny piece that measures 2 by 1/2. And we have to score this little piece. And I'm just going to pull out my directions. It's 2 by 1/2. And we are going to score it at 1/4, 1, and 1 3/4. I'm going to use this one. Let's see where my score tool is. I was using it today, so it's probably, oh, here it is. I was going to say it's probably missing in action. All right, so we have our tiny little piece right here, and we are going to score it at 1/4. How crazy, right? So we're going to score it at 1/4, and then we're going to score it at 1, so right in half, and then 1 3/4. All right, so we have 3 score lines on this tiny little piece. And what we're going to do is the 2 little ends, we're going to fold up into a valley. The center is going to be a mountain. So here is the piece. Whoops, my finger has glue on it, that we're left with. Okay, let me just grab my punch. I'm going to grab my punch, and I am actually going to put a hole right about in the center of this piece. All right, it's not dead center, but it's on our piece. I'm just going to add a bit of glue and hold it together so it stays. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I found it. All right, so now we're going to open up this piece so it's flat. And what you're going to do is you're going to add some glue to these small little pieces, and you are going to adhere it to the center of the card. And you want these folded pieces to go into where your score line is. And we're going to add it in there and fold it down so we don't see it in our opening. All right, so here it is right here in the center of our card. I just want to make sure it stays adhered. So let's just adhere this down really good. There's a little bit of glue sticking out. So there it is on the inside of our card. So it'll close up and we don't see it. All right. Next, we need our base, but let's do some flowers. And this is the part I probably should have done ahead of time, and I didn't. So I apologize for not having it completed. So we're going to grab our stems, and I'll do this as quick as I can. This is the reason why I only have 2 cards tonight, because this little card is pretty involved. So let's grab our lemon lime twist, and I want 2 to the left, and then I want 2 to the right. Let's give ourselves some room. All right. And then I'm going to do the flowers in sweet sorbet. And I'm going to do, let's see, how did I do it? Just want to make sure I do it right. Let's do 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. All right, so we have our little garden of flowers. Unfortunately, this, like I said, this bee set has the punch, but all the other elements need to be fussy cut. And I wanted a little bit of a garden underneath our bee, so we need to fussy cut our flowers. And I did actually, on the one card that I made, I actually fussy cut the flowers. Did I? No, I guess I fussy cut 2 flowers and added them, and then fussy cut the flower and the stem together on the other 2. So let's just, usually I like fussy cutting, but when I'm trying to do it so we get done quick, I find it very frustrating. All right, so there's 1. I forgot all about these crazy little flowers. I think I did fussy cut the bees already, so you'll be happy about that, because you'll notice on this card, those little bees are designer series paper, and I fussy cut those bees out so I could add them to the front of the card. So we're just gonna quick fussy cut these out without making a boo-boo. Now these little flowers, I'm just looking to see, here they are. Let's put that aside. I ended up taking these little tiny elements, or the little gems, and put them on the inside of the flowers. So that's 2. Have I lost you yet? Oops. This is why I usually do everything ahead of time. I just don't like keeping everybody waiting. I guess that's my downfall. Everybody's time is so precious. So tomorrow, at 10 o'clock on YouTube, we'll have our Fun Fold Friday. And it is really, this week it is a really fun fold. It's called, I've seen it called the Flying Seagull. but I believe the Flying Seagull uses a 12 by 12 sheet of basic white, or, cardstock. And I am using a smaller regular 8.5 by 11, and I cut it down so it is instead of being really long, it's shorter than the Flying Seagull. And I think it's a really cute card. A lot of pieces, of course. Me and my puzzle cards. But again, it'd be for that one special, that special card when you want to really create something that when the recipient opens it, it's not just a regular card. So it'd be for that special birthday or special anniversary. All right. Oh, I am sorry. All right, so let's add these little gems in here so we're ready. And then we're going to pull in our card. And I'm actually going to add these to the back of our frame here. This one little piece just does not want to leave. There we go. So I am going to add some glue to the bottom of our flower. We're just going to hold it there. So of course I have them going left and right. Oops, wrong side. Ooh, almost. And we'll put another one here. I just wanted to fill in some space. Oh, I did it again. The brain is like dead tonight. How come? uh, Dealing with the VA. That's what I was dealing with today. And I should say, Bill does say hello to everybody. He's not feeling good again, but he said hello. All right, so here are our flowers. And you might want to just separate them a little. All right, so here's our cute little garden. Oh, have you? I'm glad. Yeah, it's really fun. I thought it was going to be a really hard card, and it really isn't. Really, honestly isn't. All right, so I did cut out 1, 2, 3 little bees from the designer series paper, so you don't have to. Hey, Karen, I will definitely tell him you said hello. And I already did cut out the bee. All right. The only thing is, what I am going to do is I'm going to grab some the feelers or antlers. What, they're not antlers. What did Emma say they were? Antenna. And I am going to just add them. Oh, I don't know how I can do this. Oh, terrible, terrible. I'm going to, oh, you're going to hate me. I'm going to just stamp them on a piece. Because this little bee looks naked without them. So I am going to quick fussy cut some out. Just really quick. So yeah, 10 o'clock and we're going to do that fold. I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't made it yet. I did cut out all my pieces. And It looks like it's going to be really fun. All right, so do you see what I just did? I'm just giving this little one some antennas. And I'm going to naturally, let's grab our brush, our Stampin' Right, and we're going to give her some cheeks. And I'm going to give her some eyelashes, make her look cute. All right, then I'm going to take some vellum. And the heart, we're going to cut or punch 2 hearts. And those are going to be her wings. And we're just going to add a bit of glue. And we're going to set her down on those wings. And you probably can't even see it, but believe me, they're there. I'll show you in a second. All right, so we put her wings on using the vellum. I could have, yeah, but it doesn't dry that quick. All right, so there are her wings. Next, oh, did I lose it? Oh, here it is. We have a piece of acetate. And this actually is not a sheet of acetate. It is a piece of the plastic that our stamps come on. I saved these sheets, and that's what I'm using because I only needed a tiny little piece. And I am actually going to cut it down a little bit. And it's a 1/2 inch wide. And I cut it down to about 2 inches. And we need to, again, punch a hole right about in the center. And I know you probably can't see it, but see, there's the hole. Then we're going to take a little brad and stick it through the hole. Grab our card. And remember this little piece that we added? We're going to put it through that hole and attach it to our piece. All right. Now we can close our card up and we can attach our bee. And I'm going to add my glue to the piece. I don't want that much because it's going to soak through. Let's add our bee. Just like that. All right. And we're going to let that dry for a second. Now we have an additional piece. This piece measures 4 1/4 by 3. And we're going to have to score this one too. And let me get my scoreboard out again. Make some room. I only need this top piece. So what did I say? 4 1/4 by 3. And with the short side across the top, we are going to score it at 1/2, 1 1/2, and 2 1/2. Lots of pieces again, ladies. All right. Now we can fold and burnish. Just like that. So we're left with a piece that looks like this. We can pull our card back in. And we're going to add some glue. And you can use tear and tape if you want. But I'm going to use the glue so I can move it around a little bit. And we're going to adhere it to the bottom of this card. And we want to make sure it is on there pretty even. All right. And then we're going to add some glue. Take our card and close it. I just want to make sure that's up further. Oh, there goes my phone. There goes my phone. Oh, you know what? I forgot what I'm gonna have to look to see what my name is on eBay. I'm not really too sure. Somebody's asking. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look. All right, so what we just created was our base. So it will stand up without any problem. All right, and there's our little bee flying around. With these little guys, I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and I think I ran out. So let me just grab a new pack here. We'll use these minis. And we're going to pop these little bees up on the front of the card. And I'm not going to put a sentiment on. I was going to add one tonight to the corner, but I want these bees to be the focus of our card. We're going to add him here. And let's grab this one here. I'll move him up a little bit. All right, so I think I put that too tight. So now here's our little bee, and she swings around. And I'm going to grab that basic white layer so you can see we turn the card around. And I'm going to stamp the back. And I think I already have these pieces out. So we're going to grab some memento. And this is so we don't have to worry about where we're going to add our sentiment or our little message to everybody. Right? And we're going to grab that lemon lime twist. And add one there. I'm just looking. There it is. Grab the one that faces the other way and put that there. Let's close that up. And I'm just looking to see what I did with that little, oh, here it is. I was going to say, oh no, I lost the little flower. And we're going to grab some sweet sorbet. And I want to grab a scrap because I want to stamp off our flower. Grab our seal. And you want to remember, because I almost did it on my card today, make sure that it's on the right way. So when you turn it over, you're putting it on the correct way. Because I almost put it on upside down. And there we go. Here's our little bee. This one swings just a little bit better. I'm going to have to loosen that up. So she swings really nice. And then we have this card here. So I hope you like them. And just a friendly reminder, if you place a $30 order, before tax and shipping using the host code on the screen. I will send you these make and takes. Oh, thanks, Kathy. So have a great rest of your night. I will see you tomorrow at 10, and we'll be playing with the bees one more time. And then I'll have to decide what we're using next week. So have a great night. Thanks for joining me. It was so great spending some time with everybody again. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. You're welcome.